Welcome everybody to the Cast from the Coast. My name is Adam Miles and I'm joined as always by Josh Lambert and Tim Johnson. Brendan and Aaron can't make it tonight, but that's okay. The show must go on. Thank you everybody for tuning in during this live episode on Twitch and YouTube. Facebook can go to hell apparently because Zuckerberg just lost $7 billion and it's shit in the bed all over the place.
Shh.
Hey,
don't.
Zuckerberg
He has all
can
our
suck it.
information.
Don't anger the Zuck.
Don't anger the Zuck. Tim, what are we talking about tonight on this glorious episode of They Cast from the Coast?
We are going to continue our series of Friday the 13th with the final.
We're not talking about Friday the 13th. And back up.
Sorry.
What are we talking about, Tim?
We are going to continue our talk on A Nightmare on Elm Street with the final part, the ending with Freddy's dead, the final nightmare.
Stay tuned. Tim, it is time for you to regale us with the synopsis.
All right.
Okay
then, I'm going to do it. The dream haunting Freddy Krueger returns once again to prowl the nightmares of Springwood's last surviving teenager and a woman whose personal connection to Krueger may mean his doom.
Okay.
Oh, you're not going to do the laugh. You didn't do the laugh.
No, I don't know if this movie deserves that, but we'll see.
You guys are mean.
Josh. Oh, Josh. Okay. All right. So yes, here we have. How do I even fucking start with this movie? I feel cheated. I feel fucking cheated. I'm gonna pour out my fucking heart on this one. Like, I love a good horror movie. Then there's this.
Well, this isn't a horror movie.
Oh, really? Not a horror movie in a horror movie series.
Well, it's not horrifying.
I feel
there's a lot of horrifying things about it.
I just feel like they just don't care anymore. With this movie, they just didn't care. Yeah. And like, I feel bad for Robert Englund. He showed up and gave it his all, like he always does. And I know that he's like, attached to this character and stuff, but I just feel like the powers that be, the people that made this film, just don't fucking care. They don't care. This movie wasn't scary. This movie wasn't even funny. It was ironically funny because of how dumb it was. The acting was horrible. I'm just going to rate it now. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ironically funny is the best kind of funny.
No.
What do you mean?
But only if it intends to be. This movie never intended to be that.
When it intends to, that makes it worse.
Yeah, it does. It does make it worse, Josh. No,
they didn't intend to.
No, now I'm just confused. I'm as confused as this fucking movie. So okay, all right. So here we have the story of the last teenager from Springwood who's on a magical journey to leave Springwood, but can't really leave Springwood, ends up in a neighboring town, which is like Springwood, but not Springwood, is very close to Springwood. And Springwood somehow has turned into some sort of a big industrial fucking city, if you notice. It's weird. Who has Looney Tunes type fucking dreams akin to the Wizard of Oz and all kinds of other fucking movies. And Freddy keeps haunting him, trying to kill him in his dreams, but can never quite accomplish it. He comes to a wayward halfway house for disturbed and mentally ill teenagers that just so happens to border Springwood. And John Doe, as he's entitled to be known, is thought to possibly be the child of Freddy Krueger himself. The story later unravels that he is not. Spoilers alert, everybody. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to spoil it. And there is, in fact, a daughter who is the child of Freddy. And she comes into play in the series, in the movie. I would like to point out that I almost wholeheartedly would just like to blame Roseanne Barr for this movie.
Stop!
Because she fucking appears in it.
That cameo was
Stop!
amazing. Roseanne and Tom Arnold.
Well, Tom Arnold's always cool, but Roseanne, no, whatever.
She's a fucking wackadoodle, don't get me wrong, but
She is a fucking
Wackadoodle.
She is a wackadoodle. Okay, so we have our atypical scenario where Freddy is just looking to expand on his horizons, and he finds that he can technically do so if he technically enters the mind and soul of his own child. He can leave the dream worlds in Springwood and move out somehow. I guess that makes sense, that he can leave Springwood and take control of this body, kind of like in part 2.
yeah.
And,
So Freddy's tied to Springwood, and at the
Yes.
start we get like the little kind of like epilogue or prologue that says that he's killed all the children of Springwood, like he's done, except for this one kid that got out of Springwood.
Mhm.
So he's on the hunt to get that other kid back to Springwood so he can finish the job.
Yep.
This just seems like a great plot. Where's the disconnect?
In the actual the actual fucking
The execution.
writing, the execution
Josh,
of it.
execution
Oh, on
bad
paper,
idea.
it's like, I remember reading about this in Fangoria magazine and going, fuck yeah, this is going to be better than The Dream Child. And then I remember
Like, he
watching it
decimated the
going,
entire
oh
town of
fuck,
Springwood.
this sucks.
You got them all. Every one of
Yeah.
the little bastards.
Yeah, and and now there's like a mass psychosis that's going on with all the adults and shit, and
That's
and
the
they're all-
first logical thing in the series. They all went fucking bonkers. All the kids died.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're holding like fucking state fairs and shit where there's no kids, and it's
Yeah.
just like creepy clowns and Roseanne Barr.
And Roseanne.
Roseanne.
And Roseanne. Okay. The characters are fucking cliches in this movie too. So the John Doe's your atypical just teenager trying to get by. He's the new Nancy type character in this series. Then we have like the badass blonde chick who never let a person put a hand on them again, so she's always beating on the punching bag. We got the atypical, counselor that's trying to help these kids and get through some shit. We got we got more kids that are just fucked up, like Breckin Meyer's first real fucking horror movie, apparently. And I'm surprised he fucking got any acting jobs after this one, to be honest. Dude, I'm just gonna keep talking my whatever the fuck's on the front of my brain at the time. Like, but this movie has me dumbified. I can barely talk tonight, okay? Josh, if you're so like, okay, talk a little bit more about the story, Josh. What do you like about this fucking story? Talk to me. Put it out there.
How do you guys feel about like the additional background that we get on Fred Krueger?
Awesome.
Because to me, that's
Awesome.
character development. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
absolutely.
okay.
Anytime you could see Robert Englund as Robert Englund playing Freddy Krueger, like with no
Right.
makeup on, love it. Love it.
Like, that's one of the most endearing parts of this film to me, is that we learn a little bit more about Freddy's background. So straight from the start, he's the son of 1,000 maniacs. He gets adopted into some sort of foster program. His foster father's a piece of shit, beats him, whatever. He's a
Fucking
disturbed
Alice
child.
Cooper.
Yeah. He's a
Alice
disturbed
Cooper.
child. All the kids make fun of him. He cuts himself like he's deranged. But yeah, he still manages to get himself together, wrangle up a lady, get married, have a kid, have some sort of normality life. Meanwhile, he's living like a Dexter second life, killing little kids in his basement.
Yeah. Later on, okay, I'm going to try my very hardest to give some positivity to certain things here throughout this discussion. Yes, it was good seeing some background on Freddy. I did, in fact, enjoy when we actually see a little bit later in the movie his
That was
kind of
fucking
second life.
condescending. That was condescending.
He is.
Thank you. I like his different gloves that you see that he had.
Yeah, you get to see his prototype workshop where he's like testing out the best child killing gloves. He's got like a Mythbuster workshop set up with a gelatin block.
This one kills really good. Yeah.
And then we also get like the most important part of lore in Freddy, and that's the dream demons. That the dream demons give him his power. That's why he's able to keep coming back. Because he dies, he goes to hell, the dream demons bring him back to go wreak havoc.
I will admit, as much as I love seeing a background and kind of making certain things canon about the character to kind of flesh out details, that was probably the worst part of it for me.
You like the mysterious of just not knowing why he's able to do
Yeah,
this?
like what? Why couldn't it have just been like some sort of a fucking curse or something, or something, that he cursed the town and he is the curse type of thing, right? Like a lot of these don't need that much of a detailed explanation to them. That all of a sudden there's fucking flying sperm creatures that are fucking giving you dream demon, powers and shit. You know
I'll
what I mean?
concede that they look like little tadpole sperms, but they're still the thought behind them is cool.
Thank you. We're getting along here. We're getting along here. Little
There's
sperm
a good
demons.
dialogue going.
All right. So yeah. So he get the dream demons. Yes. Okay. That's all we need to know about those. Okay. Josh, I'd really like just can you regale us with some notes about this movie? Because I just want to dive deeper into what's under that bucket
Why I'm
of
thinking
yours.
the way I am. Okay.
Yeah.
This particular viewing of Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare took place October 4th, 2021 at 7 p.m. I love how we start the film with a philosophy quote from Nietzsche and then followed up by the immediate quote of "It's prime time, bitch." Like that
True.
sets up this film. If you're going into this film like, oh, this is gonna be a horror masterpiece, I'm gonna be so frightened. No. We get the prologue that Freddy killed literally all the kids in the town. That's like the holy shit moment. Like he killed everyone and everyone's gone completely fucking bonkers. And then Roseanne moved there, so she fits in with like all the bonkers people.
It just goes to tell you, I'm just going to stop you there for a second. With every movie, there seemed to be some sort of a new kid on the block that's able to withstand Freddy, and they gang up and they beat the fuck out of Freddy. At this point, all the kids are fucking wussies. They can't fight Freddy. They're all idiots. They all die because they can't figure it out. So what we're saying is there's only a handful of really, smart kids, and they killed off all the dummies.
Well, if anything, that makes it more real.
Okay. Continue.
It makes it so that not every other kid has this power to become a dream warrior or a dream wielder. It's a dime a dozen. They're not a dime a dozen, rather. We start out with the John getting some nightmares, and he's on the airplane, and this old lady's like puts him right in his place, like, don't be a fucking pussy, like you're sitting next to the airplane, just close the window or something. One of my favorite things to do thus far has been tracking alternate Freddys, and I think we should just have like a battle royale of all the alternate Freddys. And at this point, we get to see Wizard of Oz Freddy,
Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, Wicked Witch of the West Freddy. There's a scene where John is just like falling for what feels like forever, where he's rolling down that hill, and all I can think of is that poor fucking stunt man. Like, what a shit job to be a stunt man. They're like, okay, I need you to fall for about 4 hours, and we're going to cut it down to about 30 seconds. So you just keep falling, and then the actor's going to jump up, and it's going to look like it was him. And the stunt man's like, that was me. I was doing all that work, and he's going to take the credit.
You'll never work in this town again. And he didn't.
To me, at this point, Robert has perfected the Freddy laugh. So when he's in that truck and he's driving through and he has when I think of Freddy laughing, this is the soundbite you would pull. So they get to this like home for deranged children, and they pull out a fucking pipe bomb. I was like, holy fuck! I think that's more than troubled use at this point. If you're building pipe bombs, you need to be in a more well-regulated facility than a troubled use center.
True.
Carlos has like a pretty serious Johnny Depp look at the first. I don't know if you guys thought so, but he's got like the hair, and he just reminded me a lot of Johnny Depp. We get like the iconic "I need to reach these kids" line from Doc. The cop gets knocked out of a window and just replies with "asshole."
Yeah.
Like that's gold. This is B movie gold. The guy's like a carbon copy of the bad kid from Boy Meets World.
Oh, crikey.
Like you could have replaced the characters and I wouldn't have even noticed. I love that they drive by Springwood and on the sign it says "a nice place to live," and that's the motto of my hometown.
True.
Not a great place. It's not a great place to live.
It's
It's
nice,
just a nice
place
to live.
Nice.
It's good.
It's okay.
I can't believe you people, she says. So she's in charge of like a youth center, and she can't believe that 3 of them got into this van. It's like they're clearly fucked in the head. Like, what's wrong with you, lady? Like, you are horrible at your job. And then she just lets them drive home. She gives them the keys to the van. She's like, "All right, you guys go home." They're bad kids. Don't give them vehicles.
Like, yeah, like take 5 seconds on that one. One of them is building fucking pipe bombs.
Right?
And you're just going to be like, "You go straight back to the facility now, young man." And expect that they're going to fucking
Johnson.
do it?
Make sure they know you're on your way.
And that you're okay.
Are you shitting me? That's Roseanne. And then I said, Tom Arnold is here as well. Excellent.
He's here as well.
To me, so far, this is the most logical of the sequels thus far. No absurd canon breaking, no absurd new rules. It's just, this is a continuation, if you will. All the kids have died, and the town has gone full batshit crazy. We get a new Freddy persona known as Chalk Freddy. Springwood has like a Zelda Lost Woods situation where if you don't take the right path, you just start right back from the beginning as they're trying to drive their way out. The map in the back of the van, that was a great scene. I love that. Where it just kept unfolding and unfolding, and he's just like, "What the hell?" And then he opens it up and it just says, "You're fucked." Freddy dancing behind Carlos as Carlos is like digging for his hearing aid is top tier Freddy. The old signal that happened at midnight on the TV kind of dates this film. We get Gamer Freddy. We get the great graphics line from fucking Freddy, and I was just dead. The Power Glove. The sequels had full ascension to cheese at this point. We got a kick to the balls. So earlier, Doc goes, "I only get 23 minutes a day with these kids." And now we're watching Doc just sitting here watching, what's her name, work out for like an hour. It's like, Doc, you are a strange, strange man. We get Freddy's backstory. He has a family. I love that we got to see some of Freddy's prototype gloves. Every town has an Elm Street, another iconic line. She beats her father's ass with this kettle. Like, that kettle gets whipped.
Man.
And then we get the face effect on the perv dad. And if you look in the back, there is a Coca-Cola machine. I'm starting to think Nightmare on Elm Street might be, or Pepsi rather, might be sponsored by Pepsi. There's a lot of Pepsi product placements in the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Well, it is the inferior cola, so continue.
It is the chosen cola of Dream Warriors.
Pepsi right now.
We get the return. We get the return of the finger cut. So when he's naming off all the ways that the kids have stopped him, and he's cutting off his fingers. Yeah, great. Then we get the green bile that shoots up out of it. Their plan is to bring him out of the dream, and I'm just thinking, wow, that's really original. That hasn't been done 6 times already. We get the 3D glasses, which I guess she puts them on and dissolves into her face. We get some gross claymation evil tadpole demons.
Sperm demons.
Sperm demons. And then I got like a little recap here. So Fred was abused by his adopted father, was a cutter, a son of 1,000 maniacs, yet managed to get married, have a daughter, settle down, and then become a child murderer until his wife busted him. Then his daughter saw that he killed his wife, so she told on him. Then they burned him. Then he made a deal with the dream demons. And then my last line here is just Freddy's dead. Honestly, it was a great sequel for me. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Before we go any further, I'd just like to point out that I love having chat when we're actually going live right now. For anybody who hasn't read the actual chat on Twitch or on YouTube, this guy making comments on YouTube. Apparently, an 18-year-old with no tattoos said that if we say bad words, they're leaving. Oh my freaking god, you guys are terrible, and they left. Fiddlesticks. Well,
Don't say bad words.
Bye, Vincent Garzon, whoever the fuck you are. Okay. All right. So, okay, now that sponsored by. Okay, never mind. Thank you, Josh, for all your notes. So let's talk a little bit about the effects work in this movie then, because obviously there's some things that Josh really liked. So we get back the finger cuts. We get like some really. No, I can't even say anything good much about the effects work in this. Dude, Freddy's makeup looked like shit in this one. To the point where it was so loose on his skin and it wasn't applied appropriately, whenever he turned his neck, it fucking bunched up on him. It looked like a fucking Halloween mask around his neck.
Yeah, because he was tired of sitting in a chair for 15 hours applying makeup.
Oh, but he gave it his all, apparently. Like, come on. No.
He did.
Maybe in a little bit of his acting, he did, but come on, man. Like, what the fuck? There was some big shortcuts that were taken on this. Oh, boo to you too, Tim.
No, it was
to Vincent Garzon, the 18-year-old tattoo-less guy who doesn't like bad words.
What is the fact that he's
I don't know.
It
said Halloween is here. 2 pumpkins. Wait, do you just say the bad word? Oh, I'm leaving. I'm 18 years old. I don't have tattoos here. If you say bad word, I'm leaving. Oh my freaking god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You freaking guys are thumbs down. And Tim, oh boo.
Maybe it's like Mormon or something.
Oh boo.
Okay. I don't have a lot of love for any of the effects work in this movie either. It's to the point where, like, even when they did like the fucking video game stuff and Breckenmeyer was like fucking hopping around like Super Mario and shit like this, it was stupid looking. The overuse of the extreme green screen shit, like when the house is flying up into orbit and shit, and it literally.
Can we just take a minute to talk about Breckenmeyer's ponytail?
It might be the dopest part of the movie, but go ahead.
No, that's all.
Okay, we've officially talked about it. Apparently,
we've talked about
it. And he's such a fucking stoner in this movie. I mean, that's not too far from anything else that he's ever done. But okay. All right, I'm going to try to say some positivity here because I promised I would. My favorite sequence leading up to a death was when Breckenmeyer gets stoned and Inagata-Devita plays and he goes into the fucking stoner trance into the TV. But then after that, it sucked. But it was just like that whole Inagata-Devita and he goes into the fucking TV and shit. That was
when Freddy's got like his own custom power glove.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah. It was awesome.
No,
it's so awesome. Stupid.
I mean the acting up to that, he's like sitting there playing and it's in that little fucking room and the girl comes right up to the door and she's like, oh my god, it's Freddy. And she's looking.
He's going like this, playing.
Yeah. But like she comes right up to the door and she's like, oh my god, it's blah, blah, blah on the TV and Freddy. And he's like not even fucking caring and noticing that she's like 2 feet behind him. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Because he's deep into his gaming.
Excuses. Nothing but fucking excuses from you, Josh.
What? You would have rather just no cheese. Like, they're on, like, this is what, part 6, part 7?
Yeah, this is part 6.
They're done making horror movies. It's just a funny movie with Freddy in it at this
Yeah,
point.
but isn't that like not the point?
It is. That's what happens as sequels continue.
I mean, like that would be
Otherwise,
like
you get
that'd be
Saw,
like a
or
new
your
version.
Saw 15 is the
But
same
that'd be like
thing.
a new version of Friday the 13th where Jason hits somebody and you hear like with a fucking machete or some shit, right?
Because Friday the 13th is not set up to be a comedy. It'd be like Army of Darkness.
Yeah, but Army of Darkness knew what it wanted to be. This movie was confused.
So did this. If you think for a second that they're in the writing room, be like, okay, Freddy's got a power glove on, and they're like, yeah, that's gonna be fucking terrifying. You're insane.
Watch the potty mouth, Josh.
Watch the potty mouth. We got somebody's no, I don't have mother freaking tattoos. No, we said you didn't have mother freaking tattoos. You admitted that. Jeez, Vincent. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Go ahead. What's your favorite death in this movie? Josh, go. What's your favorite sequence and death in this movie? You like it so much, fucking tell me.
Yeah, come on, Josh.
It's not a horror movie. There's no scary parts.
Doesn't matter. There's still deaths.
Is there?
I don't know. I mean, I do. But do you?
I mean, you don't really see it death. He just kind of comes to life, and he's got all these holes in him.
I mean, we do get the infamous, butthole portal thing again, because he goes down the stairs into it.
Yeah, the butthole portal. Well, the best death is when Freddy's pulling out the nail bed and lays it down, and Buddy plaps onto it.
It was probably the funniest scene with Freddy, in my opinion. Out of everything that he did, the fact that he fucking pushes a whole bed of nails and he's grunting and he sits down and he goes, and he looks at the camera breaking the fourth wall was kind of the funniest part in the whole fucking movie.
So you're telling me that wasn't intentional?
No, that was.
They're not going.
That was like whatever you do. That was probably the best fucking part in the entire movie for me, to be honest. Just because it was like that was it. But everything else was a little too, like I said, like the whole, like I felt like Bugs Bunny was going to show up any fucking minute and he'd be like, yeah, what's up, Doc?
At the first, when he like breaks through the portal wall and there's like the Wile E. Coyote outline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. It's cheese. Grade A Gouda.
Space Jam. Motherfuckers. All right, fine. Moving on from that shit. Because Tim, do you have anything to say? What's your favorite death in this movie?
I don't really have a favorite death. I have a couple scenes that I thought were great. The Breckenmeyer into the TV video game thing is great because it's so stupid, right? I love how he's holding the little box and he's playing and like he's talking shit on the TV and Freddy's talking shit to like it's a precursor to what it's like to play online games now, like people yelling at each other over a video game. The effects were god awful, but whatever. Another real scene that I like, and I feel like it was much more serious, was the one where she's in the kitchen and beats her pervert dad with the kettle. That was probably one of the few serious, this feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street parts. And then he looks up and he says something about, I still want some of that honey or something like that. Yeah. His face is all messed up.
And then it ruins it.
Yeah.
It doesn't ruin it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got a couple scenes, but no real deaths, because it's not, like Josh said, it's not that type of movie, which is stupid because it's a restricted horror movie made in the early 90s starring an iconic horror villain, and you're just going to make a, as Adam says, a Nightmare on Space Jam Street. Like,
that's right.
So my whole thing about that is why they toned down the violence and stuff. At this point, every kid knows who Freddy Krueger is. So they're going to beg and beg and beg their parents to watch this. Which most of us did. Right. So the parents, most of which would pre-watch it and say, okay, what kind of movie is this? Is my kid going to have nightmares for the next decade because of it? And I think they took that into account. Freddy has reached popular culture so high at this point.
So let's call the movie Freddy's Dead and end it right now.
Let's just let's not just kill Freddy. Let's fuck up everything that people love about this series. Make him a laughing fucking stock.
The movie's not ironic. Like, Freddy died in this movie.
Yeah.
The character of Freddy Krueger died in this movie.
Very, very much so. In many ways, he died in this movie. Yeah.
That's what he's
going
for, yeah.
All right, Tim, why don't you just jump on in and please give us some trivia time with Tim.
Okay. This is the first film in the franchise not to include the little girls jumping rope singing the Freddy's nursery rhyme.
Okay.
It is dispersed in the film, though, eh? You guys must have picked up on that.
Yeah, but it's not the little girls jumping rope, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question about that. The daughter. So she's seen with like pigtails and looks like the skip rope girl. Do you think that's retconning that the girl skipping rope is Freddy's daughter throughout the series?
I don't think it retcons it. I think that it more so is conveyed that there's some sort of a connection to Fred. Like the skip rope jumping girls are like Freddy's vision of his daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily that it is, but it's like Freddy's showing his daughter.
Or is it one of those situations where Freddy's killing kids that kind of like look like his daughter?
Could be that too.
You see that in a bunch of horror movies.
Did you guys know that Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame was originally hired to write the screenplay for this film, wrote a draft, but it wasn't used?
That might have been better.
So the Peter Jackson.
I can tell you what Peter Jackson's script was. Peter Jackson's original screenplay for Freddy's Dead saw Freddy aging and growing weak within the dream world, and teens of Springwood would have drug-fueled slumber parties for kicks, enter the dream world, and beat him up.
I gotta admit, that kind of sounds dope.
It does.
That sounds fucking dope.
So a bunch of kids just get high and they're like,
"Hey, who wants to go beat the fuck out of Freddy tonight?" "Oh, me, dude, I'm in." Like, okay, hey, bitch.
This is New Line Cinema's first 3D film.
Yeah.
Huh.
On September 12th,
3D gimmick was with the glasses.
Yeah. On September 12th, 1991, a day before the U.S. release of this movie, Los Angeles declared it Freddy Krueger Day.
And then quickly took it back after this movie was released. What?
Oh, stop.
This is the first A Nightmare on Elm Street film not to end with a cliffhanger. The makers of this film did not have Nintendo's permission to mock the Power Glove.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. The producers and whoever else made this movie, they reused most of the crew and cast from John Waters' Crybaby from 1990, including Tracy Lord's husband. When Freddy punches Tracy in the face during their epic fight, Robert Englund really punched Leslie Deanne. Deanne?
Just suckered her.
Deanne.
Leslie.
Yeah. Leslie, yeah. This film takes place from June 14th to June 17th, 1999.
So it takes place like 9 years later or whatever, 8 years later than the movie actually was.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, and then Adam tried to take the trivia, this was Breckin Meyer's first theatrical role. Alice Cooper, who was uncredited as the role of Freddy's father, previously co-wrote and performed the theme song for Friday the 13th, Jason Lives. Both that film and this film are the 6th films in their respective franchises. Coincidence? I think
so. Lots of coincidence.
So,
lots.
Actually, lots of coincidence. We got another person in the chat, Jennifer. Do you guys like this film as well, or are you a naysayer like these two jabronis?
No, Jennifer, don't listen to him. You don't like this movie. You don't like this movie.
Don't stop believing. This is the fourth highest grossing film in the franchise.
That's surprising to me, but okay.
Even though she plays a teenager, Leslie was actually 26 at the time of filming.
It's not uncommon with the way they do things in Hollywood.
This is the second movie in the franchise which Freddy drives a bus. Freddy loves driving buses, man.
Freddy does love driving buses, doesn't he?
Part of the title was inspired by the hit song "Freddy's Dead" by Curtis Mayfield from the almost 20-year-old film Superfly.
Superfly.
A lot of cameos in this. Johnny Depp returns in a television commercial. Alice Cooper, like I said, plays Freddy Krueger's abusive father. Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold, the childless couple. And then Robert Shea, selling bus tickets at a booth.
That was Robert Shea. Okay.
So this is one of the reasons why this movie's lame to me. This is the only film in the franchise which Freddy doesn't kill anyone using his glove, although he gets killed by the glove himself. Robert Englund has stated that his favorite kill in any of the Nightmare movies is the kill he got on Carlos in this film. This was his favorite kill. Yeah, Carlos, the Johnny Depp looking guy that you said.
Yeah. What was the kill? They were in the boiler room. He cut off his ear. What was the actual kill? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank now.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
How the hell did he actually die?
The guy picked up like the hearing aid and put it in, and it was like this weird
creature thing.
And then Freddy stuck a Q-tip through his brain
and like deafened him even further. Okay, I'm gonna look that up while you keep talking.
I don't remember how he died.
Okay.
What else did I get for you?
Nails on the chalkboard made his head explode because of the ultra-sensitive hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Unforgettable. All three of us forgot how he fucking died. Josh, I'm ashamed of you if you like this movie that much.
And this was Robert Englund's favorite kill. This film reveals why Freddy Krueger murdered children.
Does it?
No.
That's what it says.
I don't think it actually does, though. It just reveals a little bit more about the fact that he did.
Yeah.
I mean, unless being abused, I was going to say a shit upbringing means his father hated kids, therefore he hates kids and has to kill them.
So this has the same body count as The Dream Child. At 3 victims in each one, the lowest in the franchise. Lame.
But the worst. It also has a prologue where he kills the entire town. So there's probably like at least 300-400.
And did it show any of that? No, it didn't show any of that, Josh.
Just saying.
Hey, we're gonna tease the idea of an amazing fucking segment from a film.
That it should have started with a montage.
It should have started with like a 5 to 10 minute montage of all these fucking teenagers dying in weird ways. That would have actually saved the movie for me, I gotta admit.
So I only got a couple more. This movie reveals the source of Freddy's supernatural demonic powers. Sperm demons. At around 37 minutes in, Freddy extends a chalkboard and grips the edge. When doing so, you can see that they are plastic, possibly gel, tips at the end of each finger of the knives. This is presumably so the gloves wouldn't actually rip or scratch the board.
Yep.
Like, we're on a budget. We can only afford one chalkboard. Don't go breaking it.
Finally, the producers planned a spin-off in which Freddy Krueger's spirit possesses the body of his daughter, and she continues her father's murderous killing spree. Thank God this never came to fruition. And with that, Tim is done with trivia time.
Trivia time with Tim.
So that segment was sponsored by Tim Hortons.
No, it wasn't. Tim. It was not.
Yeah, it was.
Tim Hortons
And
doesn't give a shit
Pepsi-
about us.
Pepsi Cola.
No.
And
That's
Pepsi
the
Cola.
Dream
The
Theaters
inferior
everywhere.
cola. No.
Not inferior.
I'm a bad
not, it's
bad
tasty.
Canadian, apparently. The inferior cola.
It's tasty.
All right. Gentlemen, it is time for us to give some final thoughts and review and give our actual rating on this. And tonight, I go first. Yay! Okay.
Do
Always
it up.
goes for
Of course I would go
I know.
first because I always go first, apparently. Tim's always going to find something
Do
like
it
that
up.
to say.
Do it up, Adam.
All right. First and foremost, this movie fucking
You
sucks.
review the fuck out of
I
this
will.
movie.
Like I said,
Review the fuck out of
first
it.
and foremost, this movie fucking sucks. It is terrible in almost every way. It is a shame that this movie exists. It is fucking disgusting that this movie exists. I hate it. I really do. This is only the second time I've ever seen this movie. Once when I was young and went, that movie fucking sucked. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. And then all of a sudden I'm asked to watch it for the show. And guess what? The movie still fucking sucks. And I don't think I'll ever watch it again. For everything that people do to shit on A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, those people don't know shit about shit about shit if they think that this movie has any redeeming value in comparison to Part 2. Part 2 is a fucking masterpiece compared to this movie. And Part 2 is actually not a bad movie anyway. But still,
false.
for some reason, Part 2 gets all the hate. And then this fucking thing is allowed to exist without being shit on. It's almost like when you see those memes on the internet where everybody's going, candy corn gets shit on every year, but nobody ever talks about these fucking things. And it's like the circus peanuts. Candy corn is Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Circus peanuts is this movie. Everybody's always
like
shitting on
Circus
Part 2,
Peanuts.
but they never shit on this one.
Circus peanuts are undoubtedly better than candy
Well,
corn.
they are actually, but it's just the idea of the meme.
Bad
It's
analogy.
a bad analogy.
Molasses kiss.
Bad.
No, molasses kisses are amazing. So whatever. Okay, this movie might have made me giggle once or twice. There might have been a couple of times I was like, yeah, okay, that's kind of funny. But overall, it's a terrible experience, and it's a black mark on the series. Like there's nothing that makes this movie fully redeemable, in my opinion, to the point where Part 5 is better than this movie. And you know what I rated Part 5? Tim, do I dare pull out the infamous lowest rating possible?
I think you should, if you really feel it. If you feel it in your heart. What does your
You
heart
about
tell
to
you?
get a something rated D for diarrhea? Like, what's going on here?
If I was to truly give this the Tim's lowest rating possible, it would be no comment.
Oh, he rated it NC.
I am rating this movie
Wow.
no comment. I turn my back.
Huh.
I turn my back on this piece of shit and hope it goes away.
Do we have a little thing to pop up for that?
Yeah, there is
Oh,
a no
yes.
comment. It is on my screen.
Oh,
No
okay.
comment. And with that, I turn it over to Josh.
I don't know. You guys are crazy. This film was great. I loved it. I think
I love
I loved it.
you get all this additional background on Freddy. We get the dream demons. And what I love most about it is that the dream demons directly go into the comic series where it straight out says the dream demons come from the Necronomicon. Ash reads from the Necronomicon, releases a myriad of demons, not just the Kandarian ones. Dream demons get released. Freddy makes a deal with them. Boom. Crossover. Like it.
Still shaking my head in shame, but continue.
I don't know. I rate this movie an hour. I recommend it. I love it. It's full of cheese. It's great.
Wow, Josh.
I think you're going into this completely wrong. Like, this movie does not take itself seriously at all. And I don't see how anyone
and
can
that's
walk
the
into it thinking
problem.
it does.
That's the
Everyone in
problem.
the
Why
series takes
wouldn't you
itself
want to?
seriously except for this one, and all of a sudden you're like, but you're not supposed to take it seriously.
No,
That
it's funny.
that's
It's a comedy. He's playing Nintendo on his glove.
There was cartoons in the other one, you know, what the fuck?
He was playing Nintendo. There's little sperm tadpoles flying around.
Sperm dream demons. Oh, man. Okay. So Josh,
So what do you rate it, Josh? An R?
I rated it an R.
Oh,
because apparently
man.
Josh recommends this movie. So
I do. I'd rather watch this than half the other sequels.
This fucking voice is stuck in a higher octave now. Did you notice that? He's
the
talking like
decibel
this.
rating is off the fucking chart. All right.
I don't know. I'm genuinely confused. I enjoyed this movie. I think it was a good cheese fest. I think anyone would sit down, have a couple drinks, watch this, and have a laugh.
Anyone being Josh. That's it. Okay. Tim, please give us your feelings on this movie.
I don't know where to begin. I remember going into this going, "Oh, it's this one." Like that's literally what I thought. "Oh, it's this one." This is the one where the franchise really just died. Like it died. Like I don't know what the writer was thinking. Like the fucking like I feel like this was like there was no respect for Freddy. There was none whatsoever. It's like what they fucking did to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Like it's like that kind of thing.
But even that was better than this.
Where no, you shut your mouth.
You shut your
Okay?
mouth, you dirty whore.
Yeah. I obviously don't watch horror movies to be scared. I don't. But and I know Freddy has always had that comedic element, but the thing that I don't like about this movie is how much they pushed into the comedy as opposed to the horror. Like and I get that like it was Freddy's never been horror. The first one was. But even the first one was kind of goofy at parts. I just feel like they don't know what the fuck they were doing, and I feel bad for Robert Englund because, like I said, this character's like linked to him. He is Freddy Krueger, and
You know what else was linked to him? His bank account, which I'm sure he got a lot of money for playing this film. So don't feel too bad for him.
I do feel bad because the movie was horrible, and it's like the things people do for paychecks. The I feel like this was a black mark on the fucking the franchise, and there was no real way of coming back. And you notice that like Freddy hasn't been the same ever since. Like when we talk about the next movie, we are doing the next movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about the next one, it's like this is what they had to do in order to start over, right?
Yeah.
And that movie was cool, but it still wasn't Freddy. Like it didn't feel.
But Freddy comes back in Freddy vs. Jason. Like that's the Freddy.
Yeah, that was Freddy, but I mean, he had to share it with Jason. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. I'm going to rate this a very generous G. Okay, the reason why is because the parts in the movie that I liked, I actually really liked.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a G.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a G.
Okay. So I've been contemplating something here. So before we continue, I'm going to make one quick change to my. Because no comment, the rating which I gave it, literally translates to say I have no opinion about this. But that's actually bullshit because the more that I sit and I think about this,
into it, Adam. Feel it.
This movie is pure and utter horse shit. I rate this movie an S for shit. You can't fuck this movie.
Josh, can he do that? Can he change his?
I just did.
I don't.
Guess what? Host.
What?
Hosting
gave him this kind of
capabilities.
power?
I have the
Powers
powers.
going to his
He's mad. Mad.
mad
You know
with
what?
power.
If y'all don't shut up, Josh, your R rating goes to an S2. Shit!
Oh my God! You shouldn't do
Fucking
that.
power
anyway.
goes to my head. You're all
Just
making it a
override
shit
everyone's
movie.
ratings.
Oh
you know
fuck,
what?
Adam! You gotta keep that for the back burner. You gotta at one point do that for real, okay?
Oh gosh. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, ladies
Oh,
and
that's
gentlemen,
great.
this has
That's
been
great.
a review night on Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Thank God the episode's over because I can't fucking handle any more talking about this movie. But I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I hope you guys are too. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us. Thank you to Vincent Garzon, who called us fucking ugly for some reason. What a dick, but
He didn't say
he
we were
did. He said,
ugly.
you guys are todos
Person.
solo feo, which is like Spanish for like really ugly. It's hilarious.
Well, fuck
know
you,
that.
Vincent.
Yeah, and he apparently he doesn't have mother freaking tattoos. So whatever, Vincent. So thank you everybody but Vincent for tuning in to tonight's episode and checking this out. And please stay tuned for the next
You guys
one.
are just saying that because he thinks I'm funny. He says I'm funny.
You're either funny or cute.
You guys get to hate on for Vincent. Keep strong, Vincent. Don't let these guys roast
Shut
you.
up, Vincent.
You're the man.
Josh, that's it. I'm changing your fucking rating. All right. So thank you very much once again. These episodes are all on YouTube. Misunderstood Our Company. Check us out. We're also on Facebook. If Facebook ever gets up and fucking running again, Misunderstood Our Company. And we also have audio copies of this that will be released on all the major podcasting platforms, including but not limited to Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. So we're also on Patreon. Open up your hearts and your wallets. Buy Tim some little bit of caffeinated goodness because he needs that to, survive. Because Tim Hortons does not sponsor us, or else we wouldn't have to say, get us some caffeinated money. And
Always got time for Tim Hortons.
whatever. And that's where the copyright infringement happens right there. Tim sang it so beautifully, we get hit by a copyright infringement. Until next time, Josh.
I will never not rate a film R that has both Roseanne, Tom Arnold, and Robert Englund in it. You guys are crazy.
You guys are crazy. All right, whatever, Josh. You're off the screen now. Tim.
Stay safe. Stay spooky.
And until next time, keep it creepy, everybody.
Good night.